Well, hey guys, today I want to talk to you about hiking boots and trail runners, which is also like a hiking shoe. Which is the best? How do you choose? And I'm going to go over with you the pros and cons of each and my personal preference and why I choose one over the other. And I also want to say just up front that this is just my opinion. I obviously am not a doctor. I don't know your feet. If you have feet issues, you may want to talk to a doctor about what's best for you. I just have found what works best for me, and that's what I want to talk about. But I am going to go over the pros and cons of each, like I said. And I'm going to start with the hiking boot. So the boot is more durable. It does give you a more stable shoe, and it also protects your feet from the elements of things that you may encounter on the trail, such as mud, snow. It also gives you more stability in your ankle and your feet. If you have bad ankles or weak ankles, then you may want to consider a hiking boot. And hiking boots are also good for rugged, rocky terrain. So now let's go over the cons. And the biggest con is that they are heavy. And they also are not as breathable. And they take longer to break in, to be more comfortable on your feet. They also take a very long time to dry. So if you get your boots wet, it's going to take them a while to dry. And if you hike in wet feet, that can cause problems for your feet, especially if you're on a long distance hike or maybe you're backpacking. Hiking in wet feet day after day can cause a lot of problems. They breed bacteria and fungus. All right, boots are also more prone to cause blisters for whatever reason. So that's my pros and cons of the boots. All right, so now let's talk trail runners. And this does not mean that you have to run, because I don't run. They're just called trail runners. So let me go over the pros with you with trail runners. The first being that they are very lightweight and breathable. They give your feet more range of motion, and they are also comfortable right out of the box. They have a less break-in period. They are more versatile, like in day-to-day use. I know a lot of people, they wear their trail runners every day as a tennis shoe. And they also dry really quickly. Some are designed to drain water. All right, so let's go over the cons. And the cons being they're not as durable. They don't last as long. Depending on how much you're using them, really depends on how long they'll last. If you're a light hiker, you may get 6 months to a year. But if you're hiking a lot, I don't know, it just depends. My husband kind of goes through them about 3 months if he's hiking a lot. So that's a con. They're not as supportive and protective of your feet and ankles. But honestly, those are the only cons that I could come up with for the trail runners. So it's important to find the right footwear for you if you're hiking or backpacking. It is the most important piece of gear. So what is my personal preference? What do I wear when I go hiking and backpacking? Well, if you watch the channel, you may have noticed what I wear on my feet, and that's trail runners. Now, I am not saying I never wear boots. I do wear boots, but honestly, the only time I wear them is if it's snowing, if I'm hiking in deep snow. I'll wear these. These are really heavy. And once I got used to wearing the trail runners, it's really hard for me to put on heavy boots. I just don't like them as much. And I have been wearing these Ultra trail runners for a couple years now. I really like them. I started out with the Lone Peak. Now I've moved up to the Olympus 4. They really give good cushion to my feet. I have had really bad plantar fasciitis in the past, and I wasn't sure if Ultras were going to work for me. Prior to Ultras, I used to wear Solomon, and they are a really good, sturdy hiking shoe, trail runner. The issue with me that I found wearing these was the narrow toe box. I was getting, my toenails were going black on my front of my toenails when I wore these. The Ultras, the thing that's really unique about them, and one feature that people really like is the wide toe box. It really gives your toes room to spread out when you're hiking. And I briefly want to talk about the fact that these are a zero drop shoe, which is just referring to the angle from your heel to your toe. And a zero drop shoe positions your foot so that your heel and toe are level. And the theory is that your natural foot, naked foot, has more stability naturally. And wearing shoes that have a heel drop on a daily basis can actually cause you to be off balance, unstable, and it can actually cause injury, so they say. And they say that the zero drop shoe gives you more stability and balance. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And I love them so much that I actually got another pair of Ultras that are just a street shoe. These are just my day-to-day tennis shoe, so to speak. I just love them. I love the wide toe box and just how they feel on my feet. Okay guys, well I hope that you got some good information from this video. This is actually a video I've been wanting to make for quite some time. And I did do some research on it, but like I said in the beginning, this is my personal opinion. It's my personal preference. You just have to find what works well for you. I do a lot of hiking and backpacking, and the Ultra shoes for me are fantastic. I think a lot of people think that if they are out hiking, they have to wear a hiking boot, and that's just not true. Trail runners have worked great for me, and I've done a lot of hiking and backpacking. But thank you guys so much for watching and supporting our channel. If you like information like this, leave me a comment and let me know. And I will see you on our next adventure.